And especially, and as with the Muslims, and as with the immigrants actually, the people doing the most to force the evil down our throats, and it is evil teaching primary school children about any kind of sexuality. The people forcing that down the throats of our society are not even so much the homosexuals, not even the militant ones like Peter Tatchell. It's heterosexuals, apparently, like Straw and Clegg and Cameron. They are the ones to blame, and people know it. And then one third thing that has kicked in. The left won't, and I include David Cameron and the rest of them, won't have the faintest idea of this. Well, no, perhaps when they see this, but I'm afraid that's tough, because it is relevant, I'm going to tell you. It was the images which appeared for a whole day at about the same time, unleashed by the Tory party's Generals campaign against the British National Party. As always, when you're up against the Labour Party in propaganda terms, or the Lib Dems, they're actually good at the evil that they do, but the Tories are absolutely pathetic. And they unleashed that Generals attack on us without thinking of the obvious consequence, that in order to illustrate the way in which we use the Spitfire and Churchill and images of the heroism of our people in 2 world wars, they would have to show those images on television. And that 22% isn't just sympathy because of the way I was treated, or agreement with what they know about our views. Imagine what's going to happen when they actually find out what we do say about the way in which the banks shouldn't be bailed out to the tune of £1.5 trillion, when pensioners are going to die of cold this winter for want of a couple of £100 each. When they find out that, it's going to go ballistic, isn't it? You know, but the key thing that really made the difference is to unlock the power of those images again. And people who'd only seen our broadcast once during the election period saw the broadcast and the imagery every hour, every half hour on all the news broadcasts. And the genius, and I mean that literally, the genius of seeing that those are the images which we must associate ourselves with, to get away from the politically correct lies that there's something something un-British about the British National Party. The man who saw that and pushed it into our publicity machine and our minds, and who thereby has unlocked that enormous power, is Jim Dawson. Thank you very much, Jim. The practical benefits of what happened on Question Time are enormous. As of 4 o'clock today, just over 4,000 people had registered with us formally, saying, I want to join the British National Party as soon as I can. And we're going to be, the call centre will be phoning them up, saying, right, we'll sort that, it's going to be 3 months, can we have your credit card details and can we put you, so that the moment it kicks in 3 months, we'll sign you up. These people won't forget it. They're all going to get info packs anyway. We're going to hit them in exactly the same way. We'll convert a very large number of those into permanent members. It's a 30% increase on our present membership, sustained in 2 days. Astounding. Normally we get 500 of those inquiries per month, top whack. 4,000 in not much more than 24 hours. On top of that, more than 10,000 people have signed up to receive our email updates, which means that we've got direct contact to them and we can tell them what we're thinking, what we're doing, and that's a very, very powerful way of bringing people in towards us. So that's in total more than 14,000 new inquiries, new, fresh people in just 2 days. And the stream hasn't stopped yet, that's just a snapshot. It's more than that already. That was 4 o'clock this afternoon. That number of inquiries is 38% of all those that came through in the European election. We know we lost thousands through stolen post, but we've still got a large number. But to get 38% of that many in 2 days, bearing in mind that the 40,000 we got in the European election cost us £500,000. This lot cost us £1,500, invested in servers strong enough to stand the strain, and a lot of hard work by a small number of people. And if all of those people join, which actually they won't, not all of them, but if all of the people who said they definitely want to join, and you put on top of that the donations we've had, and the donations that we're going to get from the people who are just on the lists there, that's going to be worth £150,000 this year. It's a serious success. So, and finally, our website. Not hits, but unique visitors. We've had 300,000 people looking at our website in the last 2 days. Thank you very much to the bigots of the BBC. It's the moment that has changed politics in this country. It's as simple as this. I don't yet know if everyone's got it, but it is. It's an astounding moment of change in this country. It's not just the practical benefits, it's the overall picture. It's summed up probably best on the online, very heavyweight political discussion forum, which looks a lot at the media, called Spiked. Yeah. And a fellow writing there said that British politics has been redrawn. There's a new fundamental division in British politics, and it used to be left and right, Labour, Tory and so on. The new division is between them and him. And actually it's not between them and him, it's between them and us. I'll give you one little practical example of that. Yesterday, John Walker was on the Today programme with John Humphreys, the flagship political discussion programme of Radio 4 in the morning. Now, John Humphreys is one of the big beasts of British broadcasting, so much so that Tony Blair repeatedly refused to go on with him because he didn't want the mauling that he knew Humphreys could give him. And John just told me casually, I was on with John Humphreys. Oh, yeah? Just two things. First of all, that means that John Humphreys and the BBC were quite happy to accept, not me, I'm not the BNP anymore, it's much bigger than Nick Griffin, because they knew I wasn't available. They had another BNP spokesman on. And again, that we've got someone who with no formal media training, just an innate skill in dealing with this kind of thing. There was John there, quite happy to go in with a man who the Prime Minister of Britain wouldn't dare get in the political ring with. It's really something very special. Thank you, John, very much. So why do we do it? Why does John Walker go in with Humphreys, who theoretically could rip him apart? He won't do. If he tries that, he'll come off second best, I believe. Why do I go in, knowing that they were going to tear me apart? Why do people go out into places that aren't safe? Why do people put up with the harassment from the police, from the threats of losing their jobs? Why do people queue up to be on a list of ours? Why is that? Because it's simply doing our duty. And why do we do it? Because we have to, because it's the right thing to do, because it's what the great dead of our country and our people have done generation after generation after generation, and we will not let them down. Yeah.